Hi there everyone, welcome to another ORAS Wi-Fi battle. This was one of the Swiss rounds I had at the London Regional the other day, and this was against a guy called Anus. And I'm not sure if any of you are aware, but I noticed Anus had been at the top of the British VGC, the British battle spot, and he'd been pretty high up in the world one. And I was like, wait, are you that Anus? And he was like, yes I am. And I was like, oh dear. Yep, I figured a guy who's been #1 on the British VGC battle spot thing, I figured I would stand no chance against this guy. Pretty scary looking team. I think he had a Kangaskhan and something else as his full team of 6. But yeah, this is how it went. He leads off with Zapdos and Gardevoir. Shiny Zapdos of that. And I decided to lead off with Bertha and Milotic, which I can see straight away is a bad idea. I want to get Bertha out of here, because I don't want Zapdos to finish it off straight away. I was pretty scared and skeptical this whole battle. I was thinking I was done for. Already had the bad matchup at first, but I switch into the Volcarona. And I go for the light screen, considering they're both special attackers. Zapdos lets loose a Thunderbolt, surprisingly on Loki. I guess he predicted I was going to switch Milotic out. He switches out his Gardevoir and goes into the Heatran, which is fine by me. Special attackers are no match for my Volcarona. Since he set up the Trick Room, I didn't bother going for a Quiver Dance. No need to make myself any slower than I already am. The Safeguard was brilliant there. I was able to keep that Toxic at bay. And in comes the Landorus. Nice and scary. So I let loose the Thunder Wave onto the Heatran. If I can get that thing to stop moving now and then, that'd be great. I went for another Struggle Bug, and Heatran isn't any threat anymore. And yes, I can assume he switched that in earlier, assuming that I was going to go for Heat Wave. But he withdraws it now, seeing that there's not much he can do to me. And brings in Zapdos again. I decide to withdraw Helios here because I do not want it to die yet. And I switched back in Bertha, which I can see was unfortunate because he switched in Zapdos. Charm lets loose onto the Landorus, lowering its attack, and he goes for the knockoff. Attempting to finish off Loki, but Loki has lots of defense. Lots of switching in this battle, as I brought back in Volcarona and he brings back in Gardevoir. Here I went for the Coil. Need to get that accuracy boost. But he predicted a switch on my part there, and Thunderbolted into Volcarona. As the Trick Room wore off, we see he's actually going for a Tailwind, so he has a mixed Trick Room and Tailwind team. Very big surprise. I went for the Struggle Bug, which is great, lowering their special attacks, especially now that the Trick Room has worn off. Is it Trick Room? No, Light Screen. But yeah, I went for Hypnosis with Milotic. It's able to land on the Gardevoir, who now can't threaten me with any Hyper Voice. So he decides to switch out Gardevoir here and brings back in Heatran. Not entirely sure why, perhaps predicting a Heat Wave. But yeah, unfortunately the Safeguard is worn off, so the Zapdos is free to go for its Toxics. Bertha isn't able to go in and slow them down. Get the nice speed drop there. And I'm gonna... Yep. Definitely want to go for a struggle bug here if I can. Lower those guys' special attack. Unfortunately, he does toxic Volcarona as well. But yeah, I actually decided to go for the Quiver Dance here. I need to get myself a little faster. And Hydro Pump onto the Heatran, which falls. It was actually a critical hit. The guy was saying that probably mattered, but I don't believe it did. I am a modest, almost max special attack. So I would be surprised if a Heatran was able to survive that. But yep, the Toxic begins to rack up on me. He brings back in Gardevoir for some reason, as it's still asleep. I'm surprised he didn't switch into the Landorus here. But yep, I go for the Fiery Dance. But Zapdos just survives. And it activates its Citrus Berry, which was unfortunate. Lands the Thunderbolt onto Bertha, but with those Struggle Bug drops, it is not enough to kill. And Icy Wind is enough to take the Zapdos out. And it gets a nice speed drop onto the Gardevoir. Now I'm wondering if Bertha's going to drop to the toxic damage here. And we see that it lives. Good job, Bertha. The Tailwind on his team has run out, which is excellent. It means Volcarona should outspeed the Landorus now. Do get a nice competitive boost, but odds are I won't be outspeeding Landorus with Bertha. I decide to target the Gardevoir here, considering I've got Gallade left. But yep, that Rock Slide is more than enough to take out Volcarona, and at Bertha's 9 HP, it gets taken out as well. Luckily for me, Gardevoir stays asleep, so I can get in Gallade nice and easily now. Now I hope that that Icy Wind is enough to drop Gardevoir's speed down so that Gallade can outspeed. Can't waste any time here, I need to take that thing out before it wakes up. I charm the Landorus here, because I'm not going to be able to buff my defense with a bulk up. I get the Ice Punch off, and it does kill the Gardevoir. Excellent for me. And Landorus goes for Rock Slide. Loki falls, but with that one special defense drop, but with that attack drop, Landorus is no threat to me, and he forfeits the match, seeing that I have Ice Punch. And yep, I could not believe it, but I'd beaten a guy who was #1 on Britain's Battle Spot. It was a very surprising and epic battle. Anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed.